Well, we finally got it. Disney has given us what we thought might never come. The trailer for Snow White was released, and the reception was not encouraging. Now, Disney's live-action remakes of its classic animated films is nothing new, though at this point I'm not quite sure how loose the definition of live-action needs to be for these films to qualify. So why is this trailer so remarkable? Why has this movie had such a rocky reputation? It all starts with its star, Rachel Zegler. Rachel is the quintessential example of every negative attribute Gen Z has gained over the years. She's arrogant, overly critical of things that came before her, and fully focused on the message. In a round of interviews she did for the movie, she insulted the 1937 Snow White masterpiece, calling it misogynistic and creepy. Furthermore, she claimed that the movie would be redefining what fairest means, going from being a measurement of beauty to a measurement of her ruling quality. She disavowed the original's focus on true love, stating that she might fall for Prince Charming, she might not, or they may just cut the part completely from the movie. These unfortunate comments, along with the release of the first look photos that made the film look like a high school production from a Seattle school play department, cast the release of the film in some very negative light. The COVID pandemic provided Disney with the perfect excuse to push the film's release date back a year and gave them the opportunity to do extensive reshoots to try to reframe the movie in a better light. Now, after racking up a budget most likely in the $400 million range, thereby requiring the movie to hit $1 billion just to break even, we have been provided a trailer. And the reaction? Not good. The first thing that should jump out to you is just how cheap the trailer looks. The stories of Hollywood's overtaxed CGI artists are well known, but you can really see it with this trailer. The animals look fake, the backgrounds look flat, and the dwarves, well, we'll talk about them in a moment. I understand that it's nearly impossible to train animals to do the things that we see them do in the Snow White cartoon, which is why this might not have been the best movie to adapt given technological limitations, though I don't recall the Jungle Book CGI looking nearly as bad as this. When seeing how bad the CGI animation is, it really begins to strain the misnomer of this film being a live-action remake. It's not live-action, it's realistic animation, though, as I said, that terminology is used very loosely here. The trailer is cut to look very traditional, a stark difference from the portrayal given by Zegler last year. The evil queen asks her magic mirror who the fairest one of all is. We see Snow White running into the woods where she happens upon some helpful animals which lead her to a small cottage. There, she is discovered by 7 CGI dwarves. And about those dwarves. The CGI dwarves are the result of Disney caving into the small, no pun intended, vocal minority in the public spheres. If you're unaware of the reason why there aren't actual little people playing the roles that most logically should be playing, we have Peter Dinklage to thank for it. After gaining the fame and fortune he's amassed by playing, most notably in his career, a dwarf in Game of Thrones, Dinklage declared that it would be offensive for Disney to cast little people to play the dwarves. So, after getting his, he wanted to make sure that no one else would get theirs. He's the dwarf in Hollywood. The town may be big enough for all of them, but he doesn't want any of them there. Disney caved and decided that giving us these dead-eyed, emotionless facsimiles of real people instead would be the better result. And that's ignoring the fact that Disney is attempting to trick the audience into thinking that these dwarves are replacing the group of diverse coffeehouse baristas we saw in the previous first look photos. They're not. This is just more misdirection. The studio is trying its best to trick you into thinking that this is a classic adaptation of a beloved classic, more Cinderella than The Little Mermaid. We don't know for sure what effect the reshoots will have on the original story plans, but I can't imagine they completely reworked the entire story. If not, this is going to be another perfect example of the flawless girl boss stories that have become so ubiquitous in modern cinema. Instead of wanting to be the most beautiful woman in all the land, the evil queen wants to be the most just and righteous ruler. Maybe they changed that part of the story because there's no world where Gal Gadot is coming in second to Rachel Zegler. Snow White, instead of being saved by true love's kiss, which is sexual assault, you know, she's going to save herself. The true love is reduced to such a state his part could be cut out of the movie and not impact the story at all. This is exactly what we all wanted out of a Snow White film, right? I keep hearing people say that Hollywood has learned its lesson. Surely at some point they'll turn from this disastrous path. Surely they'll get to a point where they want to stop losing hundreds of millions of dollars on every movie they release. I haven't seen any indication of that yet. What do you think of the trailer? Will you go see the movie? My recommendation is just to watch the 1937 classic instead. Let me know down below. Thanks for watching.